So today, we're in Italy.
So we started our day in Spezia. So we could just start slowly into the day, check out, and then find a place to have coffee and breakfast.
So we got out of there.
We brought all our stuff from the 4th floor or 5th floor to the car again.
Yeah, and then we walked through the city a little bit. It's really nice. They're like in blocks, the part that we were at least. Really square, like reminded me of Barcelona. Really nice architecture with plants on the side, like on the balconies and stuff. Had a nice vibe to it. Yeah, so we walked to a coffee place. And in Italy, they're not that big on breakfast, I guess. So we figured we could get some bread or whatever. Because in Germany, you go to a place and then they give you bread and cut meats and cheese and stuff that you can put on the bread. But here, we just ordered a couple pastries.
Yeah, they almost only eat sweet things.
Yeah, and not very much. So we got, I think you got 2 pastries at the beginning, right? Or did you get 3? 3. So Lena got 3 pastries. We split them, and then I was still hungry because eating a pastry and a half for breakfast was not enough for me. Had our coffee, and then in the meantime, while we were having our coffee too, Lena went back inside and got more pastries because we needed to eat something. So we had a bunch of pastries for
And
breakfast.
also we chatted for a long time.
And there were more Germans and more Americans, or what I assume to be Americans. It's like a hotspot for tourism. I just heard some walking tours, and it's always interesting to hear like who speaks what and what kind of accents you can hear and all that kind of stuff. I always find it pretty interesting. And we walked through the city, and on the way that we walked through like this market, on the walk back we got some fresh fruit. So I think the fruit's gonna be really good. We haven't tried any of it yet, but
We'll try it tomorrow in the morning.
yeah, tomorrow morning. Nom, 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 nom. So now we have fresh fruit for tomorrow. And then after that, oh yeah, we grabbed another coffee. So Lena just grabbed a coffee, like a coffee to go. So I guess they don't do it that often here, to go coffee. Yes, for a lid. And the lady was like, because we were trying to speak in broken Italian, she just gave us tinfoil. Trying to ask for a lid and wasn't sure what a lid's called. She's like, oh, gesturing for the lid, aluminum foil. Just put it over the coffee. It was fine, but it's funny because people here don't really drink it, so it's basically just the tourists that drink coffee to go, right? Because usually you pop into a place, you get an espresso, you drink your espresso, and then you keep going. So we left, and I drove the first. Did I drive all the way?
Yeah.
I drove apparently all the way. We stopped at a gas station and got some coffee as well. And it was the same thing. Like people would pop in there, get their espresso, and then they would drink their espresso and then be on their way. I got mine to go again, and then I was done in like 2 seconds because it's espresso and there's like nothing in there. But it was good. It's crazy because even at a gas station, you get, for my standards, really good espresso. Drove through some mountains. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I've never been to Italy, so it's like interesting to see all the different kinds of scenery. And then as we were getting closer to this place, it was like there were like these plants on the side of the road that looked kind of like corn stalks, but like not as rigid, I guess. Anyways, so they were like lighter plants, so you could see the wind a lot more. And that's where I noticed it was pretty windy. And then I like looked out into the distance a little bit more, and you could see like everywhere it was just getting more and more windy. You could just see on the trees and stuff. I didn't really notice it with the car. It wasn't swaying or anything like that. But yeah, we just noticed it was getting like really windy. And then I opened the window at some point. It's just super windy all the time. And another thing that I noticed, I usually drive the speed limit, and I had to slow down a lot because the roads. So we drove toll roads again today. And after we got off the toll roads, the roads just got so bad. There are parts where I have to go a lot slower than the speed limit, otherwise I'm gonna like break my car. So the funny story about the toll roads is that we went, and then sometimes we have like trouble with getting the cell phone sound to play on the stereo. So if it's muted on the stereo, then the phone will think that it's playing, but it's actually not, whatever. But at a critical time, I didn't realize that I'd take one exit and not the other one. So I went with the other one, and it was plus 20 minutes or something like that. So it was basically just drive this whole long way and then turn around and then drive all the way back. So we went onto the toll road and then drove this long way, exited the toll road, and then turned around, went back on the toll road, and then, kept going the right way, which was pretty funny. But
So we got the ticket, paid for the ticket, and got another ticket.
as we were getting closer to this place, it was like more windy roads. and also a lot more roads. So it's like a pretty rural area. There are a lot of, or it's not even a lot. It's kind of like in rural Canada. You have like driveway entrances every once in a while. But because they had that, the speed limit was set at 50. And obviously I would never speed, so I didn't go above 50.
Confirmed.
And I can confirm. So yeah, it was just crazy. But I was like itching to do more than 50. Because it's just like a really straight long road, and they're just driveway entrances every once in a while. I'm like, why is it 50 here? Anyways, so it took a long time. And then we made a stop before we got to this place, and it was like a grocery store in like a small town, but it was like up on this mountain. So it looked like you could see it from a distance. It's just like this mountain, and there's like a little town on top of it, which looked pretty cool. Yeah, we stopped, got groceries. We tried to speak Italian to us. We were like, I don't know what you're saying. No, we did understand most of it.
I think we could understand them, but we couldn't really respond.
Yeah, you think, oh, you want to say hi, please, thank you, can I get that kind of stuff? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to learn. But then you get into situations where you want a bag for your groceries. Like, what's a bag? I mean, Lena, you knew it?
Sacchetto.
Yeah. But for me, it's funny because it doesn't really occur to you until you're like in that situation that you might want to, I guess it's just practice kind of thing. You get exposed to these things and then you realize what you need to still learn. But yeah, at that point I'm just I'm lost.
But I also had to look it up. I didn't know it. Didn't know it.
Yeah.
Didn't know it.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of groceries. Mm-hmm.
Pesto, because now we have our apartment here, and we didn't want to go into a restaurant or something like that because we just wanted to come to our apartment and stay here for the night. And then so we decided to make our own dinner.
Yeah, and like simple is always good. So
yeah,
just got some pasta, pesto,
fresh pesto,
tomatoes. That's pretty good. Good job on cooking.
Well, it took me so long and
so much effort,
and I stood in the kitchen for a few hours. So yeah.
By that she means like
it's appreciated. Only cut one tomato. That's it.
The other thing too, so the last kilometer, about a kilometer, you drive on dirt road, but it's not a well-maintained dirt road. So it's like really uneven. We have a pretty small car and it's a pretty low car. It's not like an SUV or anything like that. I was pretty glad that I had gone off-roading at least a couple times with some friends back in Canada. Yeah, and then we got here. There's a pool, pretty sick. Probably gonna go in that tomorrow.
Yeah, a pool with such a nice view.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the view, so we're like in the countryside and there's just mountainous regions all around and just generally nice scenery. It's hard to describe, really nice there. And what I realized too, it kind of reminds me of South Africa because it's more of a warmer climate and then also just this sprawling nature, I guess. Anyways, yeah, and more mountainous and apartment's pretty nice. So this is our second place in Italy. Got here a living room. We just brought in all our stuff, so that's why it's all sitting in there. That's the entrance. Kitchen, the fridge, stove, everything we need. And bedroom, the TV. Probably won't use it much. Some cupboard space. There's me. And the bathroom with a bidet. Yeah, looking pretty nice.
We also have like a private terrace in front of our apartment.
With seating. When she was making dinner, like, oh, I wanted to eat outside. I'm like, there's no chance we're eating outside. It's so windy here. Wind is averaging 20 kilometers per hour, which isn't that much, but with wind gusts up to 50. But I feel like that's all of it. It's just gusts. Because sure, it dies down slightly.
What are gusts?
Like just really strong wind.
Boon. Well, I don't know.
So the gusts don't really stop. I'm pretty sure the wind is at like 50. Like it's not a constant thing. Like sure, it dies down slightly, but like it doesn't go, I don't think it goes down to 20. Anyways, it's really windy here. It's supposed to be windy here today and tomorrow. We'll see if we can have breakfast outside.
I hope so.
It's like Lena's dream.
It's like we're here, we do have this really nice view and we sit inside, it's pretty nice inside as well, but I want to enjoy it to the fullest.
But yeah, it's got a nice place. once you close windows, you can't hear the wind. Well, you can still, but
Yeah, and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was also nice to have like last 2 days we went to restaurants, which was really good. But also today it felt like good to just sit at home on a table, like make dinner, even if it was like an easy dinner, and drink a beer. Yeah.
Just hang out and chill.
Hanging out and chill.
Yep.
Especially after all the driving. Yeah, just to relax and.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's gonna be a really nice day, just hanging out, chilling.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Especially with the pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's our third day. Not quite as eventful as some of the other days, but like still nice and enjoyable. Okay, bye.